Hey everyone, so this video is the mountain, the castle, and the sacrifice number 3. So basically one night we decided we want to go back out to the mountain and see if we can try to communicate with this mother or the 2 children. And I've mentioned if you haven't watched the other videos, you may want to go back and check them out. If you're interested in this story that I'm sharing, you may want to go back and see the first or second video just so you can have a kind of a rundown of what's going on and where we're going in this video. So for this night, it was actually mid-fall, so it was a cool night but not really cold, and it wasn't hot, and it was a really clear night too. It was just cool and clear and just a really nice night to go out and check this place out again. So we get out there this night and it just feels really eerie and kind of spooky. We didn't see those other kids that were partying. We didn't see them this night. So I'll just go ahead and let you guys know that now. We didn't see them there when we got there, and they never did show back up throughout the evening. But I remember when we did get there, it just felt extremely eerie and spooky. It kind of felt like someone was watching us, and it felt like someone was waiting for us to get there. That's the vibe I got, was that something was waiting for us to get there. So based on the legend, so far we know that there could be possibly 4 ghosts out in that area. The mother, the 2 kids, and the old man. The story about the man on the noose is the one that freaked me out the most, because we still, at this point, had no idea how that man got on that noose or how he died in the first place back in the day. We had no clue. We were thinking, did someone kill him? Did he commit suicide? How long ago was it? We just didn't know, and there was all kinds of questions stirring up. So that's why we were like, okay, there's questions to be answered here. And of course, we were just dying to know the answers. So we did have a board that night, a Ouija board. It's one of the many that I had back in the day that we did take out there with us, and we did perform a ceremony or a little seance to try to speak with some spirits. We got the bonfire lit, we lit the candles, we got our little tape recorder set up. I remember us even creating like a sea salt pentacle that we set in to play the Ouija board, just as an added boost of protection, because back then I think I was reading a lot of different books, and I was so young too, and I was thinking, this is just, it's all about how you perceive things and how you make things manifest within your life. So at that time we actually thought, if we create this pentacle with sea salt, it's going to automatically protect us. So yeah, that's where the pentacle of sea salt came from. So we did a little blessing and we sat around and began to start playing. So I remember that while we were setting everything up, we had this feeling that someone was watching us, like someone was there. We could just feel it. So it's just a really eerie, kind of strange feeling, like someone's watching you or someone's standing there watching. So as we were sitting there, we placed our hands on it in the planchette and asked it, excuse me, I had something in my eye. We asked it, is anyone with us? And within just a couple of seconds of asking that, it went straight to the letter D. Then it did a spiral, and all of a sudden it did the D, and then it did a spiral, and right after that it went to W-A-Y-N-E. So we're like, D Wayne? Like not Dwayne, but D Wayne. After we asked if it was D Wayne, it went straight up to yes. Oh, and it's so crazy because we asked it, are you the one that was hung? Are you that man? Are you trying to communicate to us? Are you that man that was hung here? And it went straight to yes. And that was spooky. So at this point we wanted to know, well, how did it die? So we asked, how did you die? What happened? Please, can you tell us? And believe it or not, it's spelt M-U-R-D-E-R, murder. And so we asked, all right, were you murdered? And it went straight to yes. So that was pretty spooky. We asked him how old he was, and he told us 24. When we asked him who did this to him, it clearly spelled out S-A-M for Sam. Now we had asked it numerous other questions, like how it or why he died and all this stuff, but it was kind of like gibberish, so we never could make out exactly what it was trying to communicate to us. So after we knew it was a guy named Sam that did this to him, we asked, when did this happen? And it spelled out 1927. Okay, 1927. So we were thinking, I wonder if this has anything to do with those weird rituals that was going on in that lower basement room of that rock room, whatever that weird place was. So we asked if it had anything to do with rituals, and it said no. And we asked how, and it spelled G-N-S. And we were thinking for a little while, like, what is that? And then we thought guns. And when we said guns, it went straight to yes. So at that point, after it said G-N-S and we asked guns, it went down and said tree. T-R-E is what it really spelled, but we were like tree, and it said yes, and then it went straight to goodbye. So we were thinking, okay, I wonder if it's trying to get us to, or trying to communicate to us to go check out under this tree, where, you know, he was hung. So we decided, okay, let's go check under the tree. We were so stunned and freaking out at this point. It all seemed so surreal. So luckily there was a shovel that we had. So we took the shovel and we went over to where the tree was, where the man was hung, and decided to check the spot out and dig in a few spots to see if we could find anything. So the whole way that we're walking, we could feel the presence, like walking with us, following us, just there with us. You could just feel the presence with us. But I remember us thinking, this doesn't feel like the spirit that we were just communicating with. That spirit had a different vibe about it. This felt like something a little bit more sinister or dark. As we began to look around where that tree was, we kind of walked a little further back into the distance. You know, this is all just a huge flat, well, not really flat, it's like a woodsy, some spots are wood, some parts are flat, of an area, real private and way out in the middle of nowhere basically. But as we're walking around, I could notice, we began to notice, there was somewhat of a foundation out there where a house used to be. So spiritual sensing was definitely going on here. That's basically when you can sense and feel spirits around you, even though you can't really see them, or they're not really making themselves 100% present by sounds or noises, but you can feel them. You can just sense them. It's sort of an ability that I've had since I was very young, being able to sense spirits. I think that's why I was so drawn to it, and still am. So drawn to the paranormal and ghost, because if they're around, I most definitely will feel them, and I'll know that their presence is there. So anyway, when we got to the area, we began to start digging. We decided at first, let's dig around the area, or basically right below where the man was hanging from the tree. So that's what we did. After about digging for maybe 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, we finally get about 2.5, 3 feet deep into the dirt, and we heard this metal clinking sound, and we're like, oh my God, what is down there? What is that? So we reached down and looked inside the hole, reached down, grabbed whatever it was and pulled it out, and it's unbelievable, because it was like pieces of a gun. It was like the barrel part that you would put inside of a gun. It's like a round, you know, the round barrel part where you put the bullets in. That was there on the ground, and then some other type of piece of metal or something. So we were just in complete, utter shock at this time. I still can't believe it myself that this really happened the way that it did, but we were like just amazed. We just couldn't believe it. I mean, this was something else. I mean, we knew that we were definitely communicating with something, and something was trying to tell us something, but also we knew, and I had this sense and feeling, that there was something there that did not like we were finding this information out. It didn't want us knowing it. Since the spirit had, or Dwayne, had told us that he had died by a gun, and we just found this buried under the ground. I mean, that's like having witnessed a murder weapon, standing there looking at this item, this piece of the gun that could possibly have been a murder weapon from many years ago. So this freaked us out so much that we ended up leaving, and that was the end of that night. Because the whole entire experience there, or we'll just say that whole night, we were there probably 3 hours. It's just breaking it down in a video, it makes it seem like it's so much shorter, but considering all the time it took to actually set everything up and then get the communication started and then walk over to where the tree was, dig that up, all of this stuff going on, about 3 hours. But so it was probably 3 a.m. in the morning, so it's like, that's it, we've had enough, let's get out of here. This was a completely mind-blowing situation that we had on our hands on our hands here, and we just had to know more answers. So we decided that we're definitely going to go back, and we did a few more times, and I'll share those experiences in another video. I'm just trying to keep these short so they're not super long, because that's just boring. Who wants to watch a long video? And that's why this is in a series. So stay tuned. We'll have part 4 to the Mountain Castle and Sacrifice coming soon on my channel. And yeah, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.